The Fed Uni Road National Championships got underway in the heart of Ballarat with the Criterium title up for grabs on the short but tough 1.1 kilometre course around Sturt Street. In the women's race, the Mitchelton Scott team got off to an aggressive start, with Amanda Spratt making multiple attempts to break away as Lauren Kitchen also tried to make the move work. But in the final laps, it was a big bunch that fought for the win. Sarah Roy, a former winner, opened up the sprint strongly, but it was the dual track world champion, Rebecca Wysack, who took the win ahead of Roy, with Kimberly Wells taking the bronze medal.
This course, this style of race suits me perfectly. Uphill, really hard finish, and yeah, it was just a pursuit to the line. I didn't even really have to sprint the girls. They were hugging the barrier on the other side and did my own thing, and yeah, I'm really, really thrilled.
The under-23 category was taken out by Queensland's Christina Clonan. Caleb Ewan lined up as the big favourite in the elite men's race, aiming for his third win in a row. Fearing the fast sprinter, Michael Freiberg from the Bennelong Swiss Wellness team led a strong breakaway group, but Ewan's teammates dragged them back. On the last lap, it was a battle for position in a fight for Ewan's slipstream, but that was as close as anybody got to him, as King Caleb made it a hat-trick, taking the win comfortably ahead of Steele Von Hoff and Brenton Jones.
You know, it's probably obviously not the biggest race I do of the year, but definitely having that confidence going to the season is a real bonus.
The men's under-23 road race broke the pattern of sprint finishes as Cam Scott from ACA Ride Sunshine Coast survived from a small group to win ahead of his breakaway companion Dylan Sunderland, with the sprint finish for third going to Sam Welsford. The Fed Uni Road National Championships now move to Buninyong for the individual time trials. Day 2 of the Fed Uni Road National Championships saw the world's best paracyclists take to the roads of Buninyong for the individual time trial. Multiple Paralympic gold medalist Carol Cook, not surprisingly, dominated proceedings, taking home the gold medal in her category. This was the first time the Paracycling National Championships have been held in conjunction with the elite races and has been hailed as a great success. After the paracyclists, the under-23 men took to the road, where Callum Scottson returned to defend his time trial title. The early pace setter was Jason Lee, who had finished in 18th position 1 year ago, but taken a huge step forward in the past 12 months. Lee waited patiently in the hot seat as his time was proving difficult to beat. Sam Jenner, the reigning under-23 road champion, eventually got the better of Lee, but he didn't have to wait long for the arrival of Scottson. Scottson fought all the way to the line, snaring the win by a mere 7 seconds ahead of Jenner, while Lee had done enough to hold on to third.
The defending champion, Scottson, is it enough? Yes, it is.
Callum, you've done it again. How does it feel? You got the gold medal and the jersey. It must be always rewarding.
Yeah, it feels great. And I mean, my last year in the under-23s, I'd won it the last 2 years. So, I mean, there was a bit of pressure, but I didn't really think about it. And it's really a relief when you get across the line and in the first place, I guess.
It was tighter this year, though, wasn't it? It was. It's like you're all very, very tight at the top. You kept us second guessing all the way to the end.
For sure. I mean, I know what time trials are like, and you can't count out anyone. I mean, 2 years ago, I was not in the favourites at all when I first won it. So I knew coming home, I knew there would be people pushing it, and I have to get everything out of me if I was going to win.
Were you getting any splits out on the course?
Nah, I mean, I had the radio in, but it wasn't working, I think, so nothing, but I don't mind that. I mean, it's a timed event, so you put out your best ride regardless.
And what about this heat? It's warmed up, you're in the hottest part of the day, but it's only going to get hotter. Saturday is going to be a scorcher, reduced distance, but that's certainly going to change in the context of the race.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it makes it pretty hard, and I think it really brings out the fittest guys. The heat's not normally my best forte, but I like the fact that it makes the race hard, and I think people will go out there and be aggressive, especially with the race being shorter. So it'll change the race, but I think it'll bring a different dynamic. Might be a pretty full gas race.
Good stuff, that's what we like. Well done.
Yeah.
The under-19s race was also a tight contest, with the top three separated by less than 45 seconds. Sam Bascombe set a solid time among the early starters, but it wasn't quite quick enough, and the pre-race favourites delivered.
Lap now coming through to the finish.
And for Luke, the new leader.
Luke Plapp from the Brunswick Cycling Club, who celebrated his 17th birthday on Christmas, wrapped up the gold medal, taking the win ahead of Tyler Lindorf, with bronze going to Mitch Wright. Day 3 of the Fed Uni Road National Championships will see the elite men and women race to be crowned the Australian time trial champion, as both Rowan Dennis and Katrin Garfoot are aiming for their 3rd wins in a row. Day 3 of the Fed Uni Road National Championships saw the world's best take to the roads of Buninyong for the individual time trial. In the women's race, Shara Gillow was out to regain her Australian title after 2 years in the minor placings, but by the halfway mark it was clear she was racing for a silver or bronze medal. In a tight tussle with Lucy Kennedy, Gillow collected the bronze, as Kennedy showed more signs of her huge improvements over the past 12 months to snare the silver medal in her first outing riding for Mitchelton Scott, Australia's #1 team. But it was Katrin Garfoot who proved to be head and shoulders above the rest, taking the win by almost 2.5 minutes, making it 3 Australian time trial titles in a row and a clean sweep of the podium for Queensland. The under-23 women's individual time trial was won by the pre-race favourite Alex Manley. A star-studded field lined up for the men's race, with all eyes on Tour de France contender Richie Porte as he continues his return to racing after last year's horrific crash in July. Porte rode strongly and in good signs for the season ahead, came home with the bronze medal.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be happy with that. You know, obviously it's been a long time since we've really raced hard, and today was such a hard day. I mean, it's a hard course at the best of times, but with that heat, you know, it was a nice little hit up.
What were your expectations today, you know, seriously, because you've come back from that terrible injury?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the podium was the big goal. It's to finish 3rd to Luke Durbridge and Rowan Dennis, who's obviously absolutely flying. I mean, it's not a bad podium, and you know, obviously Miles Scottson was up there as well. So, you know, I think podium was a good result.
All reports we hear that you're ticking all the boxes with your comeback and everything. Has there been any hiccups along the way, or how are things going?
No, not really. I think, you know, I really enjoyed the last 2 months. I don't have any problems from the accident, but you know, it's just nice to be fit and healthy and getting results already in January.
Former winner Luke Durbridge was considered the biggest challenger to Rowan Dennis, the defending champion, but didn't quite have the legs to take the victory, collecting the silver medal. Like Garfoot, Dennis was on a hat-trick and he delivered, taking a convincing win more than a minute ahead of Durbridge to be crowned the Australian champion once again.
Yeah, I'm not unhappy. Yeah, I'm pretty happy. It was obviously a bit of a different run-in for training-wise this year, and I've been in Europe a lot longer, and the main concern was the heat for me and how I was going to cope today. So I'm glad I handled it quite well. And obviously we have Richie and Simon as well, and defending champion with Miles. So I'm not sure what our plan is, but at the moment I'm not too fussed about it. I want to come here and have a good hit out for TDU, and hopefully this year I'll actually finish it. That'll be a good start. Look, it's more of a pride thing. Coming here and winning it and wearing this for the rest of the year is a bit of an honour. More than anything, it's hard to win, obviously, with guys like Richie and Durbo, and like Miles even up and coming. He's improving every year. It's not easy to win. It's stressful, but it's, like I said, it's more of a pride thing and being able to wear it every year.
It's one of those things. It's like minute gaps aren't very big, and to be a minute behind Rowan, I think you're still well within the top 20 in the world. So I'm pretty happy that I rode my ride and sort of executed it as best I could, and that's all you can hope for. So I can't really worry about what Rowan was doing, and he was on a pretty impressive ride today. So yeah.
The paracyclists were also in action, this time with the road races, where Carol Cook and David Nicholas continued their domination. Day 4 of the Fed Uni Road National Championships will see the under-19 men and women, along with the under-23 men, in battle for the road race title on the demanding course around Mount Buninyong. Day 4 of the Fed Uni Road National Championships saw the races shortened and brought forward to early in the morning due to the extreme weather conditions. But rather than hampering the racing, the changes increased the aggression. The Under-23 men's road race was the showcase event of the day, which saw Reese Tucknott and Mackie Carter take a huge risk by breaking away on lap 1 of 8. Under the intense heat and battling strong winds, the peloton was slowly getting dwindled down each lap. In the final 3 laps, Cyrus Monk made his move and rode solo across to the leaders. Carter was quickly distanced while Tucknott fought to stick with Monk. But by the bell lap, it was Monk who was on his own, holding on to a 30-second advantage over the chasers. In the final lap, Monk showed no signs of faltering and powered to the finish on his own to be crowned the Australian Under-23 road champion.
Wasn't planned whatsoever going when I did, but it was just lucky the other guys all sort of looked at each other, which often happens in the under-23s. And once I was out there, I knew that no team really had a dominant squad back behind. There was all a lot of 1s and 2s. So I knew it was going to be basically every man for himself the last few times up. So I had to back myself and hope that I could go just as quick as everyone else once I had that gap.
In the battle for the remaining medals, a late attack from James Whelan netted him the silver medal, with Michael Potter taking 3rd, while Tucknott, who'd been in the break all day long, held on for a brave 5th. The Under-19 men's race was dominated by a breakaway group of 3 who attacked early and never looked like being caught. On the last lap, Western Australian Tyler Lindorff slipped away from his 2 companions and had time to celebrate his win in the heart of Buninyong. And in the sprint for second, it was Ben Metcalf who took the silver medal, with Carter Turnbull finishing 3rd. But in what was the performance of the championships, Sarah Gigante made it 3 gold medals from 3 races. Gemma Eastwood broke away on lap 1, but was quickly joined by Gigante, who went on to win solo, more than a minute clear of Eastwood in second to add the Australian road title to her criterium and time trial wins. And the final day of racing in the Fed Uni Road National Championships will see the crowning of both the elite women's and men's road champion of Australia.
It's obviously going to be quite a tactical affair with you know, the Green Edge guys, and then there's also the Cannondale team as well. I think someone like Will Clark could fly under the radar, and you know, if it gets too tactical between all of us, someone like Will Clark can win this race for sure.
It should be a great battle on Sunday between you guys and the VMC guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the challenge. I mean, it's a shame not to have Gero anymore, which is a big asset, but we've got Cameron Meyer back, which he's deadly in the road race, and so yeah. We've got 9 guys, and we're going to try and use our tactical advantage, and I think it's about time Green Edge, Mitchelton Scott get the national title back, I reckon. On my day, you know, I can climb with the best, so you know, it just depends on how the race goes, but I think my form's pretty good, and we'll take our chances.